start at power.
Yes.
It's recording and everything? Oh, okay.
The result is
Okay, let's get started. Oh, it was.
Yes, that's for the credit.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes.
Welcome to August SOCALWUG 2006. This is our 50, 60th meeting, something.
Not quite 60th.
No. Not quite 60th? 56? I know it's somewhere between 50
Maybe
and
63rd, because this is into the 6th year, right?
No, we're into the 4th year.
We started early 2000.
April.
April 2000. And the website used to show all that, but we're still converting over the historical archives to the new format.
Well, welcome to your 54th consecutive meeting.
Yep. And tonight we have some special goodies.
We haven't had giveaways for a long time.
No, we haven't. Or at least not pre-announced goodies. We've had giveaways. They kind of tend to be
Surprises at the end.
surprise of the presenter. Bring. Oh, you know, by the way, I had an extra Cognito spectrum analyzer.
I wish. Or the one you got.
The air magnet.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, he gave one away anyway.
Yeah, I know.
And you got one.
I remember I got one. Yeah. But yeah, we haven't had much since.
Yeah.
So tonight we have 3 things to give away.
Yes.
Trip light.
We needed something to put the stick.
We'll do it. We'll do it soon.
Do it at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just kind of showing them off. This is a trip light DC to AC inverter. So this plugs into your cigarette lighter in your car or boat or RV or whatever and converts it to AC power. Actually has 2 AC outlets for full 110 volts. The neat thing about these, what this does, is makes it so your laptop, you don't have to buy a separate power adapter, which can be $100 or more for specific laptops. This is kind of like, I use it to charge a laptop, and you can charge anything. So
charge your camera,
charge your camera and your laptop. Anything that plugs into an AC outlet, you can charge in your car on the go. So that's from Trip Light, and Richard Seaford is here, and he's got all kinds of goodies to show.
Oh, it's nice to have the fuse right there.
Yeah.
Which one is Richard?
Richard is right there. Stand up, Richard. Hello. And he's got a bunch of Trip Light gear, which is, you know, it's all about power. Our limitation right now in wireless is electricity. Getting electricity to the site that has no wires to get to the internet, right? So that's kind of what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always have one of those.
I do too. I have, yeah. I have one in my car. We used it on a trip. We used it to play the DVD player. I have a portable DVD player, so you know, for a 6-hour drive, you can burn through a lot of DVDs.
So what's the efficiency of it?
Probably not that bad.
Not great, but not that bad. I think it's. I measured one once from Vector, and I think it was 200 milliamps was the overhead.
No,
On
but
a
I mean
load
the
of like an
conversion
inch.
efficiency is what? 70%, 80%? Does it say on it?
The efficiency, maximum efficiency is 90%. That's probably
That's
under.
better than average.
Yeah, that's probably under high load.
Yeah.
I think that's when it's most efficient. But when I used it to power like a Linksys access point, it pulled 200 milliamps out of the whole load was like 1 amp going into the whole circuit. So the overhead was.
Now what, you're saying you were taking 200 mils off the 12-volt system?
more than that, 1 amp off a battery.
Okay, so about 12 watts in to power a gadget that was consuming how much?
About 1 amp. It's actually, that's up on the website, but it was like 1 or 1.2 amps.
Was that up with a 5 volt or a 12 volt?
12 volt. Oh, and it was converting down to the Linksys. It was an AC adapter.
Yeah.
So it's converting down to the Linksys, which is 5 volts, into the Linksys.
An amp at 5 volts.
An amp at 12 volts.
Going
So we
into the
had-
converter, but I mean,
Yes.
how much were you actually delivering to the access mode?
I didn't measure that. Well, it was actually going into the AP at 5 volts. I did
Yeah.
not measure that. So I don't know.
So at a wild guess, I would estimate maybe an amp. So that means you're putting about 5 watts into the device while drawing 12 watts off the car battery.
Yeah, I think what he's saying is that at the lower draws, it's less efficient.
Yeah. Plus, I was going through an AC wall board.
That's what I mean, but the net...
So I'm going from 12 volts DC up to 110 AC,
Yeah.
back down another transformer down to 5 volts. Yeah, it was it was not efficient, but if you're not worried about that overhead, it's great. Like on a car, you just run your car. Just don't leave it turned off for very long.
Yeah.
Don't leave it turned off overnight, I would say.
Yeah, you don't want to leave this on and
That was the
powering something all night with your car turned off.
Yeah, that was the experiment. I had a 400 watt version
Right.
of one of these, which is close. This is 375. And I wanted to see how long it would take to run a 7 amp hour battery to run from full charge down to use, like shutting off. And
So running the Linksys?
running the Linksys
How many
AP,
hours?
like 10.
Oh, well,
That's with no load or with a load?
That was with the Linksys AP doing pings. I was just pinging it all day. And then for 10 hours, it was running until the thing was complaining about low voltage. It was like setting a
You
constant.
say a 7 amp hour battery, like a motorcycle battery or an alarm battery?
An alarm battery, yeah.
Okay.
This big.
Yeah.
So
12 volt, 7 amp hour. What?
So how long did it take? I missed that part.
About 10 hours. It ran for, if I recall, yeah. Yeah. So it was, it wasn't that much. And the point was to develop a solar system around it using the inverters.
And that was in the Popular Science article?
No, not that one.
Not that
That
one?
was in the book.
That was in the book,
Wi-Fi
okay.
books, which was actually scaled up a lot more to run for weeks and days. And then,
Okay.
why don't you show what you,
Other
some
stuff?
giveaways from
Okay,
WiMAX Park.
I brought a couple of giveaways also. This is a kit you can make your own coax conversions. It's got N-type, TNC, BNC, UHF mini, UHF, and SMA. Basically take out, you want it to go in to SMA or SMA male or female.
Does it have the reverse polarity?
No, this kit does not have reverse polarity. I have those, but I'm not giving one of those away. I have those on the website if you want them. Yeah, so here you can just, I got my N male, my SMA female, and
a middle, like a middle barrel connector.
yeah, middle threaded piece here. You get 3 parts, and you take one side.
You get
That's,
2
that's,
parts.
that's the way I do it.
Just don't drop it when you're up on a tower or something like that.
That's,
And then you just use. It's true. Hopefully, if you do, whoever's down below is wearing a helmet. And you make your own adapter.
so this is now it's an N
Male to SMA female. So.
And how efficient, like, is that a lot of loss? Or are these usable for a long time, or is this something you would just do temporarily?
Well, I would bring these just in case. I've got something in and I want to test something out. And once I know I got all the right connectors, then make the right item.
Then go actually buy the connector.
This definitely have more loss in it than buying if you're going to do an adapter, of course, it's more lossy than those. Definitely you're going to lose something, especially at 2.4 gigahertz. If it's Wi-Fi or some others. But for VHF, UHF, if you're doing ham applications,
Probably not more
this is great. You're going out in the field on field day. You need to make a quick connect. It's better than bringing. I've seen guys bring out bags. They've got every adapter from one thing to another, and they have to bring 2 or 3 of them. And with this, you can just make up your own.
What does that sell for normally?
Oh, it's like it's between $70 and $80.
That's a good question, Richard. What's this sell for? 75%.
Yeah. The ones with the RPs are about $20 more.
About how much more?
About $20 more than this.
Is it the ones with the RP? Does it include those also?
Yes.
So it's a bigger.
It's actually this, and basically you double this with all the like RP versions. It's got so it's almost except it doesn't have the UHF. So you just basically take out one row, and everything else is RP and normal. So and that one is all gold plated. This one's
Gold plate. Oh, and then
and the
you have what, a DVD?
DVD. This is a WiSpy. This is probably what everyone heard about in the mailer. This is a little mini spectrum analyzer. It's if you don't want to spend $3 to $4 grand on the Cognito that what we showed off here a couple times. This you can get for under $100. It's about I think it's up for $95 on the website, but I'm giving one of these away. It's it's a little mini spectrum analyzer. It doesn't have the bells and whistles, but if you just want to find out if you want to just snoop, look around, it does not have an external antenna connection. I think there was some write-up on hardware. I don't know if they actually found out where to connect, but
about modding it.
about modding it. Yeah,
apart.
they took it apart and talked hardware.
Oh, cool.
And on my website, there's a link. There's a link to the Thomas hardware review.
Does it let you do any kind of sniffing or anything, or is
No.
it's not protocol at all? It's just RF.
And that's, I'm going to show this also.
So okay.
This one of the three things. Should we just go into this, or
No, I want to
gonna
show.
do the-
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into that because I'm going to show this off.
But we're going to pass around a bowl. So you put your business card or write your name on a sugar packet or whatever you have, and then we'll pick it out.
Yeah.
Do we have any limits? If you've won anything in the last 6 months. Dennis wins tons. Remember you won the last giveaway. What was it last time?
There's a book that you said, well, actually, you traded me for your book.
That's right. The book, it was the book by the author who was here from 5G Wireless
Okay.
on something. I read it, but I don't remember it.
Okay.
I don't remember the title.
Okay.
Go back.
Good book.
It was a good book. Go back to the February. That's actually the top video. We archive our video. We see we're recording. We archive. We take the videos and put them up to Google Video. So you go to video.google.com, and in the search bar you type SOCALWUG or wireless and click search. Our videos come up in the list, and the top one is the 5G wireless presentation.
Okay.
From March, I think that was.
Okay.
February or March.
And
So-
it's lots of people look at it.
Yeah, thousands.
Really?
Yeah. I don't have the stats with me, but it was like thousands.
Yeah. If you could copy that, just the numbers off that page and post it to the list, that would be awesome.
Okay. I'll do that because it shows the videos. In fact, I learned that in last week.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, me too. I put up a couple, family videos and things, and I noticed in there how, like the DEF CON one gets constant. And
The shorter ones get constant, and but the long ones, I mean, people download them, and you can download and put it on your iPod
Right.
or your video iPod or on your laptop,
Right.
and they're good. But Jack did one on WiMAX and previously one on spectrum analysis. He charges like hundreds of for the spectrum analyzer class.
Oh, well, it varies, but it's real money.
Real money for
Yeah.
spectrum, because you spend $3,000 on the spectrum analyzer. You want to get solid training from it. And then, but he gave an overview here, a couple hours on what it does. And that's free online right now. Cool stuff.
Thanks for reminding me. I'll have to link to it from my website.
Yeah, and your WiMAX presentation stuff too.
Yeah.
So I'll pass this around. This is from this month's Popular Science. It's an article that I wrote about cellular amplifiers. So I'll pass that around so you can look at it, or you can go pick up Popular
Okay.
Science. It's not on the web yet, or I would link
okay.
to it.
Okay.
But it's it talks about the how to get a good cell signal in your house, your car, or your office. In a nice one-page compressed condensed format.
Do the amps really do a good job?
Oh yeah, a lot. Like you don't drop calls anymore.
Okay.
If it's in your car, you don't drop calls. It's always on their end. So they're like, oh, I can't hear you. You must be in a bad zone. I'm like, no. It's not me.
But there was someone here, Steve, who said that there's still a maximum distance from the cell tower.
There is.
What was that number of miles? Do you remember?
I remember it being like 20 miles. I don't know if that's
18 miles.
somebody questioned
I'm thinking
18 or 26.
18 or 27 or
Yeah.
someplace in there.
It was
Right.
in LA you're not going to get that far away.
Right.
Up on any freeway you're not, but if you go off like in the desert,
Or if you're on top of a mountain, you're going to be too far. Maybe
Yeah.
you'll hit the site.
and what's neat about using the amp is it's powered not from the phone, so it can pump as much juice as it needs, right, to get the power up. And you can put directional antennas. So if you're up in the middle of nowhere and you're on a mountain and down in the valley is a bunch of towers, you can aim an antenna down there and pick up the signal.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
So,
Anyway,
you
that's
want to
fun.
show something here?
Yeah, so remember last month we were talking about how people are getting their laptops ripped out?
Right.
In like Starbucks and stuff?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I remember.
So this is just a goofy, funny thing I did. So this is a laptop lock cord, right? Put it in your laptop. You've seen these, right? They're from Kensington and stuff?
Yeah.
And normally you'd put your laptop and you'd tie it to the table.
Right.
I went and got some handcuffs so you can be mobile.
So you don't have to loop it around. You can. Oh, I see.
Remember the old like Steve Austin, got the guy with that stands with the president?
Right.
With the football and he's
football,
got
yeah.
the suitcase.
Uh-huh.
So you just do that and then no one's going to walk off with your laptop.
That's why you got into Starbucks?
Yeah, so you just go into Starbucks and you just, you don't have to worry about it.
Have you gone into Starbucks like that?
No, this is the only place I've done this public. And it's all too long, kind of.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a good conversation starter if you want to talk to somebody.
right. I'm just, that just annoys me so much that, you're working in
Right.
Starbucks or you're working somewhere. Just, it's like carjacking.
Right.
It's like really evil.
Yeah.
Put a carjack here. And then one announcement real quick. This, right now going on at the LA County Fairgrounds, is a ham radio expo. And that's every weekend, right?
Yeah.
Through October 1st. So we have a couple more weekends to go. Right? And you have 16 booths showing off all the ham radio coolness.
Well, we don't have 16 booths. They've given us the space for 16 booths, and we're trying to get as many as we can.
You want more people to come and set up booths?
Yeah.
And this is a free project, like just bring your gadgets or goodies and show off ham
The
radio.
only thing you can't sell.
Can't sell anything, it's all demo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And the booths need to be manned during the hours of the fair.
Okay. Okay.
And what's the hours of the fair?
Well, Saturday would be 10 to midnight. Sunday would be 10 to 10.
Okay. So That's the
Who brought a
biggest
typewriter?
challenge.
Yeah, we brought a typewriter.
We'll have passes, have passes for you to
Okay.
park and also move in.
Okay.
So that's-
All right.
Okay, and then we're passing around, you have a flyer and you have more flyers about it, right?
Yeah.
So head over there to learn more.
Okay.
Very nice. Okay. And you are going to give a couple presentations. I was going to give a presentation on Himalayan wireless, which I don't have.
Monkey-proof antennas.
The monkey-proof antennas, yes. I'm going to get pictures and audio and video and stuff like that
So for next month.
for next month.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of like too quick this month.
Okay.
You can go. There was an announcement on the list if you want to go and look at the NPR pieces about it.
Right.
It's really neat. I mean, these people are like in the mountains, in the middle of the exiled Tibet,
Uh-huh.
and they're setting up a wireless network amongst all the villages, and the monks are using it like to post to their blogs and things like that. They're spreading the word that the word. I don't know what their word is, but spreading the word of like interconnectedness and stuff.
Sure.
And the Dalai Lama is like in support of it, and the guys that are there are using a lot of do-it-yourself kinds of techniques, a lot of Linux and low-cost car batteries all gang together for the power. And we said monkey-proof antennas. Literally, monkeys are climbing on the antennas, like hanging on them. So they have to make it so that a monkey can hang on the antennas, and they're like for real. That's the trick. Now that's an environmental hazard.
Right. Right.
Wind shear's got nothing against monkeys. And then you're gonna. So I'll do that
Yes.
later. And then you're gonna talk about
Oh yeah, three
USB
different
and-
products.
and the two products.
That and two of that. And then after this is triplet.
Triplight will do the giveaways at the end.
Right.
Yeah. And Richard there
He's
at the
gonna-
time.
You want to tell us something about them too? 2
No.
minutes? Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know. Nope.
Up to you.
Not really.
Okay.
We'll probably run out of time. But, so give it up for Frank Keeney
Okay.
from WLAN Parks.
Okay, I've got 3 things to show. One of them, this is AP. I'll show this one second. First thing I'll show is the hotspot gateway, and then the last thing I'll show is the little spectrum analyzer. So, anyone that has a laptop, I'd like you to try. Do you see the available wireless networks? Did you try the hotspot one also?
Yeah, it didn't work very well.
What- you gotta get-
The mesh worked.
But you got a thing that says you need a password?
No.
You're not authenticated, exactly. Well, there's a place you can click a button, right? You should have had. I tried it on my other laptop.
It's a splash page.
Yeah, there's a little mini splash. Well, there's no splash page, but there's a little login button. Can somebody try that? Go onto that and see if they can get that. And that's what I'm showing. It's this device here. It's the Airepoch. It's a small hotspot gateway, and it has a. While you're trying that, I'll show you a couple things about this. It has a detachable antenna. It has a little port in the back where you can hook up a little printer, say for a restaurant like here or someplace. People just can't walk in with their laptop and get on the wireless without having to spend some money. I think this is something that you showed a couple years ago.
Zeitzel has one,
It's exactly the same thing. You attach a little printer to it, and you can configure it so
yeah. It's got a one button. You press the button and a receipt prints out.
you press the button, a receipt pops up, and it has a little password, and you can pre-program that password maybe for 20 minutes. So you're sitting in a coffee shop or wherever you are, Starbucks. I mean, whenever I've gone into a Borders cafe, there seems to be students taking up all the seats, reading books. But it's for wireless, this would require someone once they're 20 minutes. You know what? You have to wait just a little bit. I understand. If you say, for example, you sit down in a restaurant and you want to use the Wi-Fi, well, you have to ask somebody, hey, can I have the code to get onto the Wi-Fi? They can go in and the server can go push one button, it prints out a little slip that has a little code on it, and they give it to you, and you say it's good for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever time you'd like. And they can use the internet for that period of time, and once that time is up, they've got to ask for another ticket. Well, maybe the restaurant or the place has a policy. Well, if you want more time on the internet, you got to buy something. You got to buy another coffee, you got to buy some more food. That way, you're not just taking a person inside the restaurant or wherever the person is not taking up space that otherwise a paying customer would take. So it's just an incentive to keep people to talk to the people running the store or the place.
Hi.
Amelia, you should wait just a minute. She'll come back and I'll order you some French fries. Okay. I know what you want. Okay. So, anybody else try to get the screen that says to log in? Anybody with a laptop try it? You need to switch to the one called WLAN Parts Hotspot.
I'm trying it.
You're going to try that? Yeah, let me know when you get to it.
WLAN parts.
Hotspot.
WLAN part shot spot.
Parts.
Part.
Hotspot.
Part shot spot.
Shot spot. WLAN part shot
Okay,
spot.
I'm trying to connect right now.
Okay. You should, once you're connected.
I've got 5 bars.
Yeah, you better have 5 bars.
Yeah, I feel warm too. Is that mean anything?
Like say for the 20 minutes, let's say, and you buy another coffee.
Right.
Is it a new password?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
it randomly creates new
Yeah.
passwords.
Well, what would happen is you've got your little ticket, and your 20 minutes is up, and all of a sudden you can't get on the internet anymore. Now you've got to go out and talk to somebody again. They give you another little tag. You just entered in. You got more time.
Okay, I'm connected.
Okay.
You'll have-
So you click on log
want
on.
us to-
No. Just go ahead. You do it from. Oh, you want?
to plug it in?
No. You don't need to.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I got it.
Plug it in. Oh.
Click on log on.
Okay. Well, let me show you what you can put on top of this one. That's okay. Well, and it's got a very simple screen, but it can be changed. You can upload a different.
It's very simple.
It's very simple. It's just the default page.
You can change all that.
Oh, you can change all of it.
So there you go.
Okay, there it is. And then where's the?
Okay, what do we use for username and password?
Okay, you just click on log on right now, right? Because that's configurable.
Something's getting kind of slow. Well, the login and password is SOCALWUG.
What was it?
SOCALWUG. With your mouses on one of these.
Yeah.
If you SOCALWUG both. Now you notice, no matter where you went, now after you log in, even if you try to go to CNN or Google, it's going to go to the page of whatever I configured in there. And it should,
You want to put it up here?
oh no, that's fine.
Okay.
Then you can see that it went to I had it programmed so after you logged in successfully, you went to my website.
You have it go. You have it redirect.
I had it redirect after you successfully logged in. Okay, is that gonna work? Anybody else try that? Yeah. Did you try it? Okay, try log on.
This is probably a projector.
And then SOCALWUG.
It should be.
Did you try it?
It should be this one.
It worked good, too.
Okay.
Web page.
You have benefit here.
Well, the first thing I did,
And then you'll see it's going to a different web page.
the first thing I did was FTP. Promoted there and brought up the browser.
Okay. And then I had to redirect to my website.
But it didn't complete. I
Okay.
waited and waited.
But it's not
It didn't
FTP.
come up.
Yeah,
No,
so-
after that I opened up the browser.
yeah, you have to open up the browser and
And
log in
and
first.
it took a long time.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure why yours took a long time. It happens fairly quickly.
On this one, it's because of the screen resolutions doesn't match the projector.
Yeah. Well, so it can be, and I'll just show you a couple things inside the menu here. In the, let's see, web redirection. So in here, I set it up so right here, after you log into, after successful authentication, no matter what URL you went into, you're going to go to my website. So that can be configured to anything you want. You could set it up so failed authentication goes to a different URL. And you could even have it so the login page for authentication, it even goes to a different URL for authentication before you can get through.
What is default? Is the built-in web browser on the machine, the box?
Well, the screen, the default.
When you say log on page for authentication, is that in the box or?
Yes. What you saw right now is the default logon page.
Okay.
Right there. That's the default login page. Now that can be changed. There's a in here you can do the page customization. You basically put in HTML, however you like it, whatever you want it to look like.
And it does radius, I see.
Oh, it does radius?
That's probably where you'd want it to be on a separate page.
Yeah, if you're going to have, you know, you could tie this into another backend you might already have. You may be in an environment in a hotel where you have multiple devices, so they all go onto the same place.
You can you tie that together with other, like can there be 5 of those?
There could be 5 of these, but what you can also do is anything plugged into the back up here also is required to go through the same authentication. You could buy one of these and plug in another 5 access points.
Oh, regular AP.
Oh yeah, regular APs.
And the one where the yellow one is that
This
like
is
the uplink?
This is like the uplink. The other thing you can do is if you have multiple internet connections and you want redundancy, you can configure the WAN port and port 1, they could be on 2 different internet connections. If one fails, it goes over to the other one.
Oh, wow.
And so it has, let me see what, yeah, you can switch to a different one. So,
Will it switch automatically?
it'll switch automatically. Yeah, no user intervention at all.
It's not BGP or all that kind
No,
of
no,
stuff.
no. It's just it's strictly doing. It'll fail over. I mean, it's a lot like. I mean, it has a lot of features. I mean, many people. I mean, it's great for simple environments where you're not. I mean, it's not for a campus where you're going to have thousands and thousands of people that you want to authenticate. But if for a small place, something inexpensive, it gives a lot of capabilities.
Does it? It doesn't do any billing on its own,
No.
but I guess if you redirect, can it go back to a server like to take credit cards
Yes.
and then allow people?
That's where you can go through this redirection. You can actually redirect it to a completely different page.
And then that page sends back its authentication credentials?
Well, I think you have to tie it back through Radius
Oh, with Radius.
to allow it through. Yes. You can set up different, in the bottom here, you can, for example, I've got this MAC address set up right here. It doesn't require any authentication. If it has that MAC address, it just goes right through. You could have walled garden, so it can go. You can put in different places you can go without authentication. So if you had a main website, and
Like
then,
at IHOP.
like at IHOP, you'd say, okay, well, you don't want to log in, but you want to see the menu. So you could say, hey, you're going to allow people to go to the main IHOP website, and they still don't have to authenticate. So that you could put a whole list of different, the walled garden, where they can go only to where you want them to go without authentication. You may have websites. And it may have websites that have more information about the service that's being provided, or like the menu,
like local news.
local news, or whatever you want.
Can you have a walled garden for other services, like let people say I am, or
I don't. It might. I think you could probably. allow
Ports or something.
ports. I haven't messed around with the what do you call it? With any of the different. You can. I haven't tried that. You can do also a setup that allows. It'll do a transparent SMTP proxy. That's always an issue.
Oh yeah.
Whenever I travel with my laptop, well, if I've got my my computer programmed for DSL stream, outbound SMTP, well, this can be programmed that, hey, no matter what your laptop is programmed to, it's Earthlink, DSL stream, Speakeasy, you plug it in, it says, hey, I see this traffic on port 25, I'm just going to let it through. I'm going to redirect it to an available SMTP server, and it also has a authentication. Now, and that's, you wouldn't want to leave it wide open and allow that, but
Because of
that would be. But it's great for a conference center or a place like a restaurant. That way, you're sitting. People are sitting in there and doing their work, and they want to send their email, and it won't go out, and they're going to ask the person there, well, I'm having a problem. But this will just take care of the whole thing. In fact, if somebody even has a static IP set.
What's that?
If someone has a static IP address, static DNS set, it'll proxy it.
Oh, that's awesome. Because yeah, that's a big problem is people don't reset DHCP. And
Zero client configuration. So it'll just work. So it plays around with all sorts of things. So here's all the people that are authenticated. And I could.
So this is where you would download everything they're surfing?
No. This just tells me who's.
Can you see the pictures?
This is the menu right here. See, I go grab all the passwords right here.
Yeah.
But I can terminate people if I wanted to. Look at the detail. Terminate their
So
session.
this is where you have fun. This is the page where you have a lot of fun.
Account table. You can now. This is where. I mean, I think it'll take like 200 usernames and passwords, and you can program in. Basically, it's a static account table. This is what you'd use if you don't have a radio server. Let's see. No, it'll do syslog. I mean, here it shows me all the different IP addresses that have been handing out. So it's a whole bunch of different things. It has a wizard if you want set by something to walk you through different scenarios. It's just.
You need to surf to the web page before it'll open up your other services, right?
Surf to the which page?
You need to like open a web browser before
Yes.
it'll like allow
Yeah.
VPNs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You need to surf to a web page first. So that's about that for this, and I think this is just a little more than $200 for this. Maybe it's a little more than that. It's
What
under
kind of power is it?
$300.
What kinds of power? The
Yeah,
power
but power. It's to say a BNG. I think it's if it was set to B only, it's close to 200 milliwatts. I think in G, it's not quite that. But I mean, it's a modern device, so it's not like one of the older ones. It's super low power. So it's got pretty good power output. It supports Power over Ethernet. Needs 802.3 AF compliant PoE injector. So that's that for that one. Now I'll move on to the next item.
Cool. Do you sell these?
I sell those, yes. So all the stuff I'm showing is I sell. It's on the website, WNParts.com. So yeah, they're all there. Okay, next thing. This device here. How many people were here when Trumpos came? Was that like 2 years ago now?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
When they insisted they weren't working on a dual radio.
2 years ago, they probably
I've
were.
been bugging them for 3 years, and they're just announcing
Just
dual
about,
band, dual mode.
it's like last week.
Yeah,
So yeah, finally, they were one of the last ones to come out with it.
yeah.
When they were here, it was B only. Their devices, they were 211 B
That's
only.
right.
They were late to G as well. I think I mentioned this to Jack one time that I was going to play. I think you used it as a dual band. It was your first test of it. Yes, it is. This This is a similar idea that the Tropos had. It's a mesh device, but it's a dual band device. You got two antennas on the top. These are 2.4 gigahertz. Antennas on the bottom are 5 gigahertz. So all the backhaul, you can configure it whichever way you want, but the backhaul is typically done on the 5 gigahertz. And then what, if you have multiple devices, you could, basically the idea of mesh is you buy a bunch, you connect one of them, one maybe out of every 3 to 5 have a connection to the internet, and then over the 5 gigahertz, it'll share the internet with the other devices, and then all the clients use the 2.4 gigahertz. One of the things that the Ubiquity AP1 comes with is this really easy method of getting your mesh up and going. They call it zero configuration mesh. Kind of like buying a Linksys router with no security turned on. It's really exactly what it is. You buy 2 of these or a dozen or whatever, turn them all on, they'll all start talking to each other without you having to do anything. The utility will go out and search for, once they're all turned on, they'll talk to each other, they'll learn their path to each of the devices all on their own, and then you run the utility and you go in here and you can start configuring it. And once you get in here, then you can turn on all the security, authentication, and just an amazing amount of things that you can do with your here. It has the capability of doing a hotspot-like splash screen. I'm just going to show you, just give you a quick run through on the menu system. It's only finding one because, of course, there's only one. They'll show a master, and it'll show different. It would show all the different ones and show the hierarchy of how they're all set up.
Can you modify that, Frank, if you want to specify specific node-to-node routes as, say, primary?
Yeah, you can specify which ones are primary and secondary. Yeah.
So you could actually kind of configure the backbone connectivity if you chose to.
If you choose, I haven't gone to that scenario yet, but I believe it would. It's not going to. I mean, one of the ideas, obviously, of mesh is that if one fails, it's able to change its route. But it should stick to one thing that you set it to, without it having go always going back and forth. But and the other thing is that, just like a lot of access points, they have diversity with two antenna ports per device. You can turn one of these off and put a different. These are just. In fact, these are exactly the same antennas that Tropos uses, the common antenna. You can disable one of these. You can put a directional 5 gigahertz on here, and have the main one with a 5 gigahertz sector antenna on it, and then all the nodes pointing back to it. Now imagine you sticking this in a city environment. How far do you think you're not going to get that far with 5 gigahertz?
Not too far. Not if you're down at street level.
Not at street level. But up on a light pole, just like what you're able to do with Tropos, where you have the canopy, you use canopy or something else as a backhaul. This pretty much has that built in, where you could disable one port, put on a directional antenna, point it back to your main node, and that way you're going to get some more distance. Or have multiple devices at one location, and then you could have a sector on one, put one way, a sector on the other. I mean, which way you want to go. And there's a second port here, but that hasn't. They haven't quite documented. And I think that's for some future features that they haven't really put out yet. But it's basically an RJ45, whether it's a stereo or Ethernet, I have no idea. It's small. It's definitely a lot smaller than the Tropos unit. I haven't popped this open yet to see what's inside, but if you're familiar with the Ubiquity, has come out with a line of mini PCI cards, typically for embedded system radios. This is usually 2 of the high-powered cards, the SR2 and SR5.
So the power is just the PoE?
Yeah, it's all PoE. It's everything's powered over power over Ethernet. And it comes with a little waterproof connector that screws over this. So you run your good quality outdoor Ethernet. And then you put this cover over it and screw it down and it waterproofs. I've had, Jack, I've had good feedback on these so far.
You've had what?
Good feedback
On the water?
on this particular device.
On the performance of it?
On the performance of it, just the setup of it, kind of the overall workings of it.
What applications are people using it?
Well, using it for, they're using it for small, the ones that I've talked to, they're typically trying to do small areas like a campus. And, or they're just trying to cover, I think one person was using it for some apartment buildings.
What's the power output?
It's 400 milliwatt radios, both of them, on 2 and 5. And you can change
on the 5
the
and
5 and 2 port. You can change you can change that as well. You can put it lower if you don't need that much.
Do you know the range between the meshes?
It's going to depend on your environment, but you can imagine that with the 5 gigahertz with these omnis, you're probably not going to get a long distance. I've been wanting to put these
Like 1,000 feet or something? Maybe not.
Probably with wide open. But one of the things that, as I've been reading about some of these mesh deployments in cities, you know, like with the tropos, they're finding they need so many more nodes than what they were originally told.
Well, there's just so
I
many
probably
buildings.
heard the same thing. You know, I think I was hearing something about one of the cities that they originally planned for like 10 or 11 per mile, and they figured out they could be really closer to about 30, something like that.
I know Lompoc is having a problem.
I think it's pretty tough. And they're also finding that many of the places, you know, if you're sitting in a window and there's one of those nodes up on the light pole or down the street a little bit, you know, in front of your house with your laptop, it probably works fine. Because the other side of your house, you don't have a signal.
So you use a customer like CPE box?
Yeah, CPE box. So.
And what box would work with that?
Oh, well, if you're on WLANparts.com, the very last category is WISP mesh clients. One of those. Usually I mean, we have a little box that you can just stick on your desk near the window.
What vendor?
It's Zycel makes one.
Zycel?
Yeah, Zycel has a little client. It's not very expensive.
Is it a repeater or is it
No.
an Ethernet jack?
It's just it's a bridge. I try to talk people out of repeaters because they just don't work very well.
Can they do like have that client like the Zycel bridge and then use an Ethernet to plug into like their Linksys in-home wireless?
Yeah. It's kind of like the same type of setup here. You know, we're using the client here for the internet right now as my EVDO client. It's the same idea. I'm plugging this, like this would be the wireless client plugged into another access point. So it's the same. That works. That works well. And or I mean, if that's not enough, then a little device mounted on the roof. A little antenna about that big. So let's just quickly go through some of the things in here. It's got each of the interfaces. It's there's where you said the SSID. Oh. I'm going to order right now. You can set the mode. You can do WDS, repeater, AP client. So, I mean, you can configure. You could make the 5 gigahertz client, and then have a main device with AP, or you can make it.
Oh, so it doesn't have to only be mesh.
No. You can do WDS. I don't know.
Is that a different? What's the price point, and is it different if you choose different loads?
No. Well, there's no difference in price. You get all the features. You don't have to spend more money on features.
Oh, okay.
They all come with the same feature set. So.
And how much are they?
Oh, don't let her go. I order. They're under $900.
$900
without the antenna.
And the antennas are probably like 100 each or something?
No, they're under 60 each. They're about 60 each.
Okay.
But
She'll be back.
Okay.
She knows you're under.
So, but of course, you don't have to use these. You can use something of your choosing, something else.
That's
Pringles cans.
tin can. Oh, I forgot to mention that.
Okay.
Next month we have a new cantenna being unveiled.
Okay.
Okay.
And the
So come back next month.
is this something in one of the articles?
Yeah, another
Okay.
article.
Is it a waveguide or a?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a big soup can type thing?
It's
Or a
not.
little can?
No, it's 2 little cans.
Okay. Okay. Good. All right.
You don't want me to give the whole thing
She's
away.
coming back. Don't worry. Don't worry. So you can switch between your radios, your 5 gigahertz radios. You can set this access point however you like it to go.
When the 2 radios connect to each other, I mean, well, inside they're connected, right?
Yes.
So if
They're routed between the 2.
they're routed between the 2. Do you set up routing tables or something? How does it
You
know?
Well, I mean, just like any device that's a router, if you've got multiple interfaces with multiple different IPs, internally it'll know how to route between its own interfaces.
Because it has 3 interfaces, right?
It has the Ethernet. It knows how to route to all of them. I mean, literally, I took this out of the box, put it on the antennas, plugged it in, and it knew.
Does it do self-discovery?
Yes.
Like across the 5 gigahertz, the 2.4, and the internet
By
jack?
default, over the 5.
Oh, by default.
It'll do it over the 5.
That's cool.
And here's the site survey. You can take a look at your frequencies. All the other APs.
Hey, Frank?
Yes.
Could you demonstrate that site survey if it doesn't take very long?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, and it tells you not the channel number, but the frequency. And now remember, if you have a whole large mesh network, you can open this up. And
Oh, channel. Okay,
Channel.
just in megahertz, okay.
now if you're having, remember you can pull this up on any of your mesh nodes. So if you want to do site surveys on one of the other hops, just pull this up.
That's handy. You
And
can then choose what channel to put that node on, the quietest channel.
yes,
Are those other access points, or is it showing clients also?
I think it's, oh,
Probably clients.
Clients?
We've got a lot of people.
Well, I recognize islands, that's an AP. Linksys and Netgear are probably IPs.
I'm sure there's some.
I've never seen Doxy.
You could, but not
There's
really.
probably more clients in there than APs have.
I haven't experimented with this very much, so I don't know what.
Try to both the Wi-Fi bands.
And you can also, you could select, you can tell it to select this channel. It'll
Just
just
say something already there.
hunt for the quietest one
Better
and just ask you if you want it, yes or no. So you
It's
say
almost
yes.
foolproof.
Yeah, they've tried to make it so you could get up and going and then get it working and then proceed to break it or whatever.
Tune it a bit.
Tune it a bit, secure it. And it's the key. I mean, just like any wireless, you want to make it so, okay, you turn it on, you know it works. Then you can go in and launch and customize it the way you want it. Going here in radio, we're on the 2.4 gigahertz radio. We can, I guess we can go between the radios. You can tell it whatever. You can change, you can fix this or leave it, let it float. And then we can turn off and on diversity. That's where we pick out which antenna we want it. And then in transmit power, we can turn that down if we want.
How is which is left and which is right?
I don't know. It's
Nobody
one-
ever knows that.
Well, Linksys,
So funny.
it's from the back. I don't know what this is.
Is it?
Yes. Oh, you know what? There's a documentation. This is left and that's right.
Cool.
Just from the front, not from the back.
So it's intuitive versus.
And then security, we've got WPA, and then you can go to WPA2.
Does it have radius also?
I think it does.
That might be the
I think
ACL.
it's, so here, yeah, here it is right there. It's your radio server right here. So you can set that up. It's got some Atheros stuff for, settings.
So it's got two Atheros radios.
Yes, it's got 5.5 and a 5 gigahertz and a 2.4.
That's good.
Yeah, it's the dual radio. Firewall, you can set up just whatever you want.
Frank, can you use both radios on the same band if you chose to? Both of them on 2.4 or both of them on 5?
As far as I know, I haven't experimented with, but as far as I know, one of them is a 2.4. I haven't popped the cover off. That would tell me exactly. I think one of them is a 2.4 and one's a 5.8.
Okay.
But it could
It could have the dual band card, so
right,
that,
but Ubiquity doesn't sell a dual band card.
okay, then it's a little harder.
Yeah. So my assumption is they're both Ubiquity radios.
Yeah.
An SR2 and an SR5. NAT. So address translation, quality of service. So yeah, and it's specifically saying 2.4 here. So you can set your traffic policies, services, SNMP, secure shell. You can. So when you're doing your configuration, if you want it to be secure, upload your own SSL certificate. So NTP, or synchronize your time clock. Then there's your administrator passwords.
Is there,
DHCP settings.
you can manage it through that other, the other part that showed all of them, right?
Well, this is the menu that comes up when you manage it through there.
Okay.
This is.
And then the passwords, is that synchronized across all the devices?
I don't know.
Or maybe like per device?
It could be. That I don't know. I literally opened the box and turned it on this afternoon, and so I mean, like I said, it was working
But it's so
in
intuitive,
about a
that's
minute.
awesome.
So you have, yeah, it's really intuitive. They tried to make it so you could.
What's the warranty on it?
It's a year. It could be longer, but I believe it's a year.
And it's by
Oh, we're
air?
already done. We're done.
You ordered already?
Yeah, we're done.
It's by air?
Ubiquity.
Ubiquity.
ubnt.com. Or you'll find it at wlandparts.com in the access point section.
What else have they done?
Well, what they've primarily come out with, they've come out with the components. They're a component manufacturer. And they're coming out with full-blown products. See, in the past, all they made is like a little mini PCI cards that would go on a wrap board or another embedded type system. But now they've come out with a full-blown product. And they're coming out with a couple more items as well, like a little client bridge.
How long have they been around?
Oh,
2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years. They're really, it's one of these companies, they make great products. It's a bunch of guys with slide rules and there's a bunch of engineers that run this company. Mm-hmm. It's not you're not going to be able to call them up on the phone and jabber with somebody there for a half hour. Just they pump out all these great products, but people often say, "Oh, I can't get a hold of anybody at Ubiquity." Well, no, neither can I. But
so there's not as much support, but the products.
The products are just fantastic, and they do back them up. I mean, if something goes wrong, you send it back. They say no. I mean,
really quick. Because I remember with some of the other vendors in the past, we were just talking about that, how they're getting bought and all kinds of things are happening in the market. And one of the important things is the support and the warranty return system.
Yeah, you're not going to get them on the phone and have a whole discussion. But I just had someone, and I shipped. Somebody wanted 3 of these. They had me to have it right away. They were overnighted out to them. It turned out two of them didn't work. Well, I communicated that with Ubiquity, and the same day the problem was reported, they overnighted 2 replacements to my customer. So they were that good about it. When there's a problem, a real problem, they back it up. I've been very happy with it. And the fact is it's very rare that I've had something go wrong. They go through, when they manufacture them, they get tested. And then when they arrive in the United States, they test them again.
Speaking of Ubiquity, do you want to say anything about the different bands that they're coming out with cards for? Because that's kind of, I think they're the leader in that respect.
Well, in fact, they have the they've got the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz. Then about 6 months ago, they came out with a 900 megahertz card. Basically, they took an 802.11g card and put a frequency converter on the card and switched it to 900 megahertz and amplified it. It's 700 milliwatts.
It's enough.
It's a high power.
I don't remember, but I don't see anything else like it.
No, there's nothing else like it.
It's great.
And so basically, you don't have to write, since it's an 802.11g device, software vendors don't have to write any new software because it has basically a conversion table. If you choose channel 3, it's this frequency 900 megahertz. Basically, through the channels, it's a different piece of 900 megahertz. So, which has been just a godsend to people who they want some better tree penetration. You just don't get that 2.4 gigahertz. And people have just been so happy they can buy these 900 megahertz cards, stick them on a rat board, load up, use something like MikroTik, ScarOS, or Linux, BSD, and then they've got this 900 megahertz device. They stick, put up a sector or a 900 megahertz Omni, and now they're getting, going through. I haven't tested distance through trees yet.
A quarter of a mile, half a mile.
But people are able to, where a lot of people I sell to are ISPs, now they're able to serve customers they never had before.
How much bandwidth are you getting in that?
Well, you can, based on the way you select it, you basically take up the whole 900 megahertz band.
Yeah.
But you don't want to do that. You take up a little bit of it, and that way you want some free space. So you can take up the whole thing.
I'm just wondering
if you
what
want high speed.
the maximum is, what the average is.
I haven't tested it.
What are they saying? Because there's obviously less bandwidth available.
Go to WLANparts.com. Go to the mini PCI cards and see. I think the SR9 is there. It might not be there because.
Right. I think what's happening is with the Atheros chips, more and more we're seeing the ability to select a channel width, like 5 megahertz, 10 megahertz, 20 megahertz.
Right.
On the different bands.
Yeah.
So that's one of the really significant new features that has come to the broadband wireless arena right now.
Okay, and they're also coming out with a 4.9 gigahertz, and I think they're coming out with a 3.
I think
3.5?
3.5 I think is coming out.
Which is not for the U.S.
No, it's the same technology though.
Yeah,
The frequency conversion technology.
but they come out with a 4.9, which is a public service band. They not only they come out with a mini PCI card, and I think they'll have an access point, but also a card for a laptop. So if you've got
That's on their website right now.
yeah, so you get the 4.9 for the sticking your police car or your public service vehicle.
What is the throughput on the mesh system? Do you have any idea?
It's so a lot of that is dependent on your environment. 54 megabits on 802.11g, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what.
Because remember at Tropos we were talking, they're like, oh, it's really 1 megabit.
But remember, that's mainly like a repeater. You're having to repeat it on
Because
the
it's not
same
a
band
dual
over and
radio?
over again. This is dual radio, so the same. When the client's talking on one radio, then the access point to access point is going on a completely separate band, so they don't interfere with each other. Okay. I think that was it. They had a neat little monitor in here where I'm going to try to find it again. Where you could actually, here's open connections. So you can go in here, and here's all the clients, and you can see all the ports that they're using. You can see the source port, destination port, and the destination IP address. So here's whoever in here, and here's the IP addresses that they're visiting. In fact, today I did a little test. I mean, it's not specifically something with somewhat unrelated, but I've been testing out some Wi-Fi phones, and this is kind of like what you did with your little box. But I tested a couple different Wi-Fi phones. This is a Hitachi. They're coming. Which one? Okay. Anyway, I plugged this into my laptop that has the EVDO card, and I was able to make voice over IP calls over that.
Using which service? Very cool.
Yeah, using VoIP, Wi-Fi VoIP.
No, using what?
Oh, EVDO, Sprint EVD, Sprint.
Which carrier? Which
Sprint.
VoIP carrier?
This is SIPphone.com.
Cool.
But I also I thought I'll show this as well. This is a Hitachi phone. It's kind of a pricey VoIP phone, but I configured put the same configuration in this one and a Zycell, the latest version, the 2000, and back to back. This one has far less delay in both talking and listening.
You mean you didn't hear the this is so and so over. So come back in.
Far less talking over each other when I use this. It was noticeable.
That's Hitachi. What model?
Let's see. Wireless IP 5000.
Awesome.
Anyway, it worked out very nice. I had a couple conversations with someone while using the EVD. This is the EVDO, and nobody knew the difference. I couldn't hear the difference either. It sounded just as good as using the DSL. Okay, next item. All right, the white spot. Yeah, this is that's really. Let's see, make sure it finds it. Yeah, there we go. This is a little inexpensive spectrum analyzer. Let's see if this comes up. There we go.
That's nice.
There it is. So, I mean, here's the channels down below.
This is Wi-Fi channel 1 through 11.
That shows all the way to 14. There's something taking up some space over there.
Microwave oven?
Well, channel 11. What channels is your mesh and your the Airepoch?
The Airepoch and the mesh. Well, I set this one to find the cleanest channel, so it went and picked something probably opposite of whatever this is.
So you have 1 and 11.
Yeah, one's on one, the other's on the other. So there you go. There's not that much in here to show other than you can see what's going on. You can turn off.
Record stuff?
You can record and play back. And so we can turn off. There's.
So which channel are the access points at?
The hotspot is on one.
I think it's 111.
Where's the biggest envelopes there?
It's 1 and 11. Yeah, 1 and 11.
And can you tell if there's like a cordless phone or Bluetooth or something like that?
Well, all I've done is watch Wi-Fi. I haven't seen what the others would look like. But you can also get the spectrograph. What it's called? Yep. And yeah, I mean the network doesn't look like it's highly loaded right now. I don't know what.
You can see what the red is on there.
Yeah, the red's on channel 1 and 11, but over time. That's actually what on the Cognio, what you can use to see the Bluetooth and cordless phone interference shows up as red specks all over the place. Does anyone have a Bluetooth something or other?
Yeah, I got one.
You have your,
It's on right now.
are you making a call?
No?
Make a call.
Yeah.
Let's see if it
Yeah.
pops up. Call Frank's VoIP phone.
You know what? I don't have it down number.
Oh, because it's the SIP.
Zip phone. You
See
could
the
slide.
weaker pulses in the middle of the band there across
That's
the
probably
bottom?
the
That's probably,
They do have incoming.
That's
They
probably
have to
the-
activate.
Well, those are, there's Islands right next door has a AP.
okay, well then it could be from the
Switch back to the spectrograph.
And there's a, you do something with it, right?
So go ahead and answer it and start talking.
Yeah.
And let's see. Okay. Now switch. I don't think you'll see it on this screen.
Yeah, anyway.
Because 2.4 goes across the whole spectrum. I did see little blips in the middle there.
Because it's frequency hopping, it's hard to say whether the sampling rate is fast enough to really show the spikes.
Yeah.
It could be the stuff across the bottom, but
Like that little blue or the orange mound and stuff. Red or whatever. Is that the noise floor?
the yellow line at the bottom is the noise floor, yeah. It could be the short yellow, the little yellow spikes. If we want to find out for sure, if he walked up with his Bluetooth to the Y-Spy, we should see some of the spikes get larger if it's detecting it. That's optional.
Yeah, there's a,
I think I'll beg off from walking up
yeah, there's also for those here, I know there's many who use Linux. There's a Linux client for this as well. Are you going to use a Bluetooth?
Yeah. If I remember how.
No, look at that.
Wow, good jumping in. In this second. Yeah.
See, there's no big AP in the middle of the band on channel 6. So if we start seeing a bunch of tall yellow spikes in the middle of the band, that's probably the Bluetooth.
It's right here.
Switch back to the other side.
Right over there.
Turn it off and turn it on.
Well, I mean, you really need to be.
It's in Discover. It's in
Okay.
Discover.
Yeah, I just don't see that much.
Yeah.
Well, there's on my website, on the side of this page, I have a link to an article in Tom's Networking, and they actually compare screens side by side with the Cognio. And they,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they talk about each of the different products,
And they come to the conclusion that Cognio is better, but it's like the price of a car
yeah, it's like the price of a used car. Yeah, exactly. So.
versus 5 pizzas.
Well, yeah, that's about right. Yeah. So anyway, that's about pretty much you can
That's really neat.
it doesn't. What does this do? Yeah, open record it. You can record, create a new record. So you can start anyway. Very simple. That's about it.
It's USB. Is it like 2.0 or 1 point or I don't know? Does it just you use the software and installs, and
Well, this laptop does not have USB 2.0,
so it works on one.
so it works fine.
Does that only work with Wi-Fi fans, or?
Yes, only Wi-Fi. Yeah, just the 1 through 14. That space. No, it's not going to replace some of the other equipment. Okay, that's about it. This is what we're going to give away.
Okay,
So are you ready to
pass this around? Everyone either have a business card ready or write your name on something like on an equal or sweet and low is very popular. We'll do no, I'm just turning it off.
Oh,
I showed it.
okay.
I was going to make something to break that off. This is like a busy point. Busy week. Okay. Yeah, just so we know who to call out. No. Right around there. That's what's great about IHOP. They have all kinds of surfaces to write on. Right on. The packet's very popular. Okay. Have quite a turnout tonight. Yeah.
Amelia.
Can you come pick something out of this? Let's see, what do we give away first? It depends who it is, I think.
What are we going to give away first?
Whoever, it depends who it is. Okay,
Let's
so
pick out what it is. Let's give this way first.
Wait, this one?
Yes.
Okay, the
Adapter.
adapter kit.
Okay.
Okay.
I want you to close your eyes and reach in here and pick out one thing.
Pick out one thing. It doesn't matter what it is, just one thing.
Just, okay. Take it. Take one.
Just
Oh,
one
you
of
got
them.
two. Drop one in. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Who got it?
Let's see, what does that say? Stephen H. Smith.
Oh.
You got, oh, wow.
You take it to him right there in the green shirt? You
Yeah,
give
yeah.
it to him?
I've already got one of these, but I get the inverter instead.
You want to put your card back in? Or? Maybe, you know what? You might be able to trade with the guy.
Yeah. Okay. Grab it.
One more. Anything. Dig deep. Dig up. Mix it up.
We're going so high.
That's a good idea.
What is this for?
Okay.
Wait. This is for the DC inverter. Mark Siegel. Right on. I know somebody who wants to trade you for this.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Okay. One
Last
more.
one. This one is for the little gadget
The Wi-Fi.
that,
Oh, watch out, it'll fall out.
yeah, the Wi-Fi.
It's very small, it'll fall out.
It's a USB dongle, Wi-Fi. Okay.
Okay.
Stan What gets the Wi-Fi? Right on. Wow. You want to give it to him? He's right over there.
Right there with the glasses.
Holding his hand out. Reaching.
Thank you.
Almost. There's so close.
Okay.
Okay. And are we going to give away this laptop?
Okay.
Very cool.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All righty.
Okay.
Thanks for coming. Congratulations to our winners, and we'll see you next month. We might have like a lot more stuff.
Oh, and everyone go over and look at the trip light stuff before you go.
Yeah, the Trip Light is a company that they are making. Do you want to tell them real quick what?
Well, we're known for power protection, GPS systems, and surge protectors. But we have a whole range of line inverters, line conditioners, power inverters. We do a lot of wireless, notebook accessories. We have a whole line of cabling switches, cables, connectors, racks. So we really
You have racks and just all kinds of IT department and wire and power stuff.
Desktop level, server level, network level. You mentioned water before. A lot of people go into water. We have power protection, the regulatory 911. Make sure that you always have phone service. That's a big thing for us now. Doing a lot of stuff with schools, unified list, standardized on voiceover, so now we're doing battery backup. And we go anywhere from small little onesie twosies up to giant multinational size. I used to go to territory with my family for a long time. And any questions you have, we're available through all the channels, all the newspapers, CDMA, CDW, online.
And in stores, right?
And the stores available at, we are the UPS, that's in Costco. We're available at other retail, Best Buy and such. And if you're working through Mike, if you have a small Mike for doing some product like as well, so you can do one or two through Mike as well. So we have cards and brochures and things like that.
Anyway. Great. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the giveaway, and thanks to Frank for the giveaway.
Sure.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And pay your bills.
Yes.
They took the words right out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
thanks.
You're free to mingle around. I mean, we
can hang out for a
get
while.
kicked out at like 10, so
We've got some
have any
time.
questions? And if like your laptops or your home thing's not working, just like ask anybody. 'Cause, someone here will probably know.
Okay, that's it. See you next month.
Yeah. Very nice. Wow, just in time we had 4 minutes left.
Oh, that's so good.